Hello, boys and girls. So today we get to introduce you to the digital textbook. You heard me right. Digital textbook. We get to have an updated, awesome version of ancient world history digitally. Now, I bet I know what you're thinking. Ancient history doesn't change. Why do we need to update it? Why does digital text really matter? Well, this year, boys and girls, you'll learn all about that. We are very fortunate to have a digital textbook for several reasons. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of those reasons today. So if you just scroll with me right here or watch me as I scroll, I'm actually going to clip out of my little thing here so you can see better. And you will see that this is called Michigan Open Book Project. You might have had exposure to that last year in sixth grade. I'm not sure if they use this book often or not, but you can see that the authors of this book are people from our community. We can see Montague area schools, Three Rivers schools, Hamilton. You might even recognize a few of these authors of this book. These are people that work with students every day. These are people that understand kids' needs and are also historians that can put the lessons we need onto the computer. So we can see there are several authors, and that has actually changed over time as well as they add in other people who add and contribute to the book. David Clem is actually recently retired, although he still has some influence on the book. So, David Johnson just emailed us the other day saying that he is still taking all of our needed corrections and updating all of the links as necessary. So, this is definitely a living document, up to date, and it is a live piece of information for you to get updated and be informative. So, having said that, this is chapter 1. Why do we study history? That is the overview for this whole entire chapter. And you can see there are some cool questions right here that kind of get you starting to think about chapter 1. Why do we study history? How do we learn about the past? How would you describe temporal thinking? Provide some examples. What steps and tools do historians use to do their job? How do historians know and construct theories, perspectives, theories, hypotheses, and accounts about the past, and use it to support their claims? This might be a little bit reminding you about science in the cube. I'll be referring to science in the cube as well, Miss Richards, as we go through some of these lessons, because using the information you have and theories and your knowledge is what historians do as well. So we'll be referring back to the cube experiment in science. Number 6, how do historians collect and analyze evidence? And number 7, how and why are these historical claims controversial? So this probably caught your attention. It's pretty interesting, and we cannot wait to go through it with you. But just a lesson on the digital textbook itself so you know how to use it and you become comfortable. First of all, I'm just scrolling down with it right now. And now I'm on to page 6. We can see that it's digital, which means we are going to use it on our Chromebooks. It is current. Even when things get published, it may end up that it gets taken out or updated or modified as new information is found or needed to be changed. And then it can be edited by me or other teachers. We've actually found mistakes before that we have submitted to be changed in this book. So that's pretty cool. Moving on down. We will not be taking notes by highlighting, so you can skip this section. It is inquiry-based questions, so we just went through several of those at the beginning of the chapter, and we'll be visiting those every time we do a new chapter. So it's kind of asking you guys, what do you think? What do you already know? What can you put together? What can you ask others about? So that's pretty cool because they're asking and involving you. It is not a scenario where we just get a bunch of information. It is you learning how to learn. So, the other cool part about this book is the widgets. Widgets are little action packed things that you can click on to get additional information. So, every time you see this symbol, that's a widget, and when you click on it, it will take you to another place. It might be a document or a video or a chart or a graph. You don't know until you click on it and read about it. Those are very cool because they're interactive. And then this is about reporting a problem. If you see a bug, teachers generally take care of that. But into this introduction so far, I think that you can see that this book is going to be pretty cool because it is interactive, it's up to date, and it's asking you to participate. They're asking you, sorry about that, they're asking you these questions. What do you already know? What do you want to know more about? And what can we explore together? So that is how we are going to start this lesson is by understanding our book. And you're probably really curious right now because I skimmed over section 1, but you might want to read it word for word. So you'll need to know where your book is so you can read this section more in depth if you're so inclined. So you would just go, if no, boys and girls, are you sitting up straight? Are you looking at the screen? Because I want you to know where to get this book. So please, right now, sit up, look forward, and you'll see that to get to your digital textbook, you will click into your Google Classroom. I happen to have my classes crew up right here, their Google Classroom. You will go to not stream, that's a little messy, but you'll go over to classwork. Click on classwork. Then you get to see all those folders or topics, as some people say. And right here, oh yep, right here, all topics. I just added in my cruise class chapter 1. And in chapter 1, you'll notice chapter 1 digital textbook as a material. You can click on that and you will get the PDF right here. You can have this any time of day. That's the other thing. You don't have to haul this book home. You don't have to say, oh, Mom, I left my social studies book at school. What do I do? Oh, no, not you. You've got this digitally. So you can just scroll down and begin learning. Also, the other piece is you might be panicking right now because you truly don't want to read section 1 word for word, nor do I, as you can see. I skimmed over it. We'll use this book as a reference for some information and some material, but we don't always read it word for word. We take out some of the parts that we're really interested in and we use it to support some of the other things that we are using in class. Okay, so I think for this section we're all covered. You know how to get there. It is as simple as Google Classroom, classwork, and in this case, chapter 1, and then clicking on the materials for the textbook, and you can get right there. Today, you are going to be continuing on with your crew teacher by playing a Kahoot because the next part of this textbook is another really interesting part, and that is about why do we study social studies? Why do we study history? What does it matter? That is the number one question I get. What does it matter what happened in ancient history? What does it matter what happened even 10 years ago? Why do we care? So that is where we're going to pick up in our next lesson is this section 2 of chapter 1, learning about social studies and what it encompasses. But before that, we are going to start with a Kahoot so you can kind of answer some of those questions for yourself. Okay, boys and girls, thank you for being such a good listener today, and we look forward to having you play that Kahoot. I think you're really going to enjoy it.